All right. Hey, everybody. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm sure you've been marking down on your calendars. Episode 10, fAnaticZ Podcast. We are back in your life, and I hope that you love it.
Woo-woo.
It makes me sad every time I see your face, Dylan. Well, really not your face. It's your hat that does it for me. But
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Appreciate the love.
it's been a grind, man. 10 episodes. How do you guys feel so far?
feel good.
Like the direction, everything?
Oh, for sure. And I hope the fans do too. Shout out to our 26 followers.
Yes, subscriptions. Please subscribe if you already haven't. And I feel like we're upsetting the world right now with what we're doing. You know, we're throwing a big upset. You know,
We are Vanderbilt.
we are Vandy in the building.
We are Vandy.
Down goes the tide.
Speaking, it's really funny. I found out actually after the game that Vandy's offensive coordinator was the head coach and won a national championship at Pittsburgh State, where I went to school. And he was the coach for a couple years while I was still there.
Oh wow! So that's your personal connection to this upset.
For sure.
Nice. That's a cool personal connection. Did you play under him, or did you just go?
No,
to the
I was just a student at the school, but just
Nice.
just knowing the fact that he was there, and then now he basically orchestrated one of the biggest upsets in the last like 20 plus years.
On the top college? I mean, there's nobody bigger than Bama in college sports, right?
And it's funny, it just comes ironically right after Saban, made that statement about Vanderbilt.
That's hilarious. It's don't give him bulletin board material.
Oh, no kidding. And then what's crazy enough is the quarterback for Vanderbilt, walk on.
Oh wow, that's
Didn't
a
happen.
movie stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't even a star rating coming out of high school.
Oh wow, how they let that guy out on the team? I'm just kidding. He's obviously a baller. Obviously,
Dude, he's definitely brought a lot of attention to himself in the Vanderbilt program.
yeah. Well, good for them. Good for Vandy. I tend to root for the Crimson Tide sometimes, so I didn't care. I'm an ASU guy, but I think that
Right.
since the Tide are like Alabama's ASU.
Speaking of ASU,
Scatto, boom.
2 times, or how many ever times he wants.
Dude, that was
dude,
insane, man. That dude took charge to win that game for us last Saturday.
almost
man.
200 yards again.
Just run the ball every single time.
And Sam looked pretty good too. Sam looked really great.
Yeah.
What's crazy about Sam's stat line is he had 4 touchdowns, but he didn't even hit 200 yards. But he saw that he made the pass connect when it mattered most.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's what it's about, man. Don't overdo it. If you're not Patrick Mahomes, don't go out there and try to be. Just make the plays that win, and that's what ASU's been doing. I'm like super impressed with the way they've been playing since they've been in this new conference. So, sky's the limit.
And
For
Kansas
sure.
and despite the record, Kansas is a great team, man. I don't know the quarterback's name, but he's a
Iro-
really good ball. He's a great baller, man. He can, like, as you saw, he made the plays. He kept them in it, and he made some great throws. But they already have a couple NFL ready corners, so our wide receivers didn't have an easy task. And the fact that we got some calls our way, which was impressive. That we had one drive with just constant holding, and pass interference. Like, we were getting calls our way, which was insane, which kind of helped us win the game, ain't gonna lie. But
Right. And what's even more interesting about, the quarterback's last name, ironically, is Daniels.
uh I say, yeah, I knew
But
he was a
yeah,
ball. I knew he was a baller, and then like NCAA at the game and shit. Like, he was like a 91 overall, so I knew he was a pretty damn good player, and they were hyping him up too. So
Well, and it's like you said, Kansas is, the talent that they have doesn't speak for
Hmm.
their record. They are a lot better. They've lost like probably all of their games by a combined maybe 15 points or less.
Yeah, and their coaches can't win games when they're trailing. Then they have like an insane like record, like only like one win coming back behind trailing.
Yeah, that isn't too good.
It's not good at all, man.
That's okay. It's good for us though. We ended
Yeah.
up taking advantage of it, and another win for ASU, and I think another win for U of A, right?
I wish I could say that, but got off to a very putrid start. Offense couldn't get anything going. The defense, props to the defense for even keeping us in that game with how awful the offense was. And the worst thing about that, we lost Traden Stoops for the year. So that's a huge blow for the defense. But we got our quarterback goes for 300 yards. But of course, you lose the turnover battle. 2 picks, no touchdowns, and then a costly fumble when we were trying to come back at the end. You're not going to lose. You're not going to win games if you can't take care of the football and you're not putting your guys in the best spot to win.
Yeah, I just
There's too much talent on this team to be this vanilla.
it's just like it's funny with U of A to me because it's like 1 week they're gonna be super good, the next week they're gonna be super trash. 1 week they're gonna be super good. It's just like the same thing each time. It's crazy.
Well, and they better be ready this week because they have BYU.
Jeez. Yeah, you can't sleep on BYU. They'll put up numbers
And
on you.
yeah, no, if you lose the turnover battle, it's going to be over before it even starts.
Do you guys think you're so highly focused on your number one though? Because I mean, I saw a couple. I mean, I was on U of A spread, and I'm kind of salty still, but like bad throws with those couple turnovers, and it was to your number one. You think other guys around you need to be more involved in your offense, possibly? Because the
First,
defense, in my opinion, have looked great. They look great on defense,
100%. Because I mean, everybody on defense knows exactly where Fafita's going. He's looking for McMillan, and
Mm-hmm.
the minute he's dropping back, everybody knows. But he needs to look. They need to give him more opportunities to look elsewhere. We know McMillan's one of the best receivers in the country, but teams are going to figure out how to, if we're one dimensional, we're not going to go anywhere. Like I mentioned, everybody knows where we're going. We need to spread the ball. We have more talent than just McMillan. We need to showcase it. Our running back situation is fine. Nothing wrong there. Our offensive line's making good blocks, but we really need to figure out who's that number 2 behind McMillan, or it's just going to be huge day with passing yards and receiving yards, but turnovers.
Yeah, I thought the tight end was supposed to be the guy, the second guy, but I guess that's not materializing.
I was going to say it's one of those situations where, you mentioned with the team overall, they'll have a great game, sit back a little bit and then jump right back. And maybe we'll see that breakout again, this week, because we need to.
I mean, something needs to get figured out. I'm not trying to add more salt in the wound, but they were talking about with ASU being 4-1 that they have like they can start the talk of them making the college football playoffs on something insane like that. But with like U of A already having 2 losses, it's kind of like nerve wracking a little bit.
Right. Because,
Yeah.
everybody thought ASU was going to be at the bottom. U of A is
Mhm.
going to be at the top. But
It's completely
right now,
backwards.
ASU is towards the top. U of A is struggling to find their identity.
Mm-hmm.
We're already on offensive coordinator number 2, and we're not even halfway through year 1 of Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
So
tough, man.
I don't know if it's just something's not clicking with philosophy or what, but there's just way too much talent on this team because everybody saw it. The whole nation saw it last year. The whole nation saw us beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's tough.
And Utah, man, and a team like Utah, and then
Utah.
an excellent defense like Utah to win the game, and then and then go the following week and like we played really good against Utah in like a completely different offense, you know?
Right.
So,
And the thing is, like when you're already playing in a hole, you're already you're already making, tight throws, you're getting panic, but that's a game Arizona should have had, but they left themselves in a hole. They climbed back, and then when they got to that point, big turnover and then game over.
mhm.
But if they start hot, they can obviously they can beat BYU, but if they get in the hole again, it's not going to be pretty.
I don't think they're gonna beat BYU, to be honest. But if they do, every time I root for the other team, they win. So I think that's that should be some encouragement for you. So I mean, speaking of a lot of talent on the roster, is there anything else you guys want to touch on college wise?
Did I ever touch on Cam's insane stat line while we were talking about ASU earlier?
Not in
No,
the room.
no.
Oh, okay, 1 second. So yeah, so in like 5 games is insane. What was it? I literally just had it and it wants to refresh on me. Okay, so listen to this stat line. In 5 games, Cam Skattebo has carried the ball 111 times for 619 yards, 6 touchdowns while averaging pretty much 6 yards a carry.
Jeez.
That is
That's
insane.
insane.
Yeah, great sample size.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that man's a real deal.
He's obviously NFL ready, man. And the dude reminds me of James Conner, and I posted that on our X, which you should give a follow, by the way, ASF official X. So,
Look like Jaden McCaffrey.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, also, NAU shout out. They beat Sacramento State, so now they're 3-2 on the year.
And NAU was doing what U of A should have done. Win games. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, to be fair, they have the same record, but yeah, there's a lot more expectations down in Tucson than
That's true.
there's
I mean, the way
been
NAU
results.
played against U of A, like we knew they were going to be a good team.
Right.
So,
I'm just trolling. Just because it's fun. That's great. I think colleges, I think getting very interesting, and I think it's only going to get more interesting as they play with how many teams, the NIL and stuff like that, and conferences shakeups.
Dude,
I'm
how
happy.
about the
Go ahead.
how about the rumored super conference?
Yeah, I didn't want to swipe it, so I just kind of like lightly alluded to it. But yeah, man, that would be very interesting, and I would definitely follow college football way more closely if they did that, because 130 something teams is just ridiculous. I can't follow.
Could you imagine if they had a relegation system like they did in soccer for college football? That would be wild.
I think that would be a little too much, but I think that would add some urgency for some of the players that are on shitty teams just getting paid a bunch of money. So because then you get relegated, then I bet your money situation changes with the NIL. So I think it would be just too complicated to do, but to be honest, with all the working pieces now that the NIL is there, but I think reducing the number of teams would be awesome.
Right.
Speaking of reducing teams, we added by subtraction with the Phoenix Suns, and I'm watching the preseason games. We're undefeated so far. I don't know if you guys want to jump into NBA.
For sure.
absolutely, we need to get our NBA going.
Nice, yeah. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see this team. The way that they're shooting threes right now, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be a team that's modernly built, not discombobulated.
Our rookies look really good so far.
Super good.
And you know who's looking like a shooter? Dunn.
Oh yeah.
Who was looking like to be a complete terrible shooter heading into the season, may I add. He was only projected to be a great defender. That's it.
Right. And he shot 23% in his last season in college from the three. And he's already 5 for 11 in the preseason, jacking that thing up. So I'm pretty excited for Ryan Dunn. I'm excited for the team in general. They took 39 threes against the Lakers. And that's a lot of freaking threes. That was one thing that I noticed about our team is we weren't very aggressive shooting the ball the last couple of years.
Wasn't that the Milwaukee Bucks team that pretty much killed us in the finals, shooting a lot of threes and Giannis going freak mode in the paint?
Yep,
Dude,
and
they
that's how
stretched the hell out of us.
right, and that's how Boston just won the championship, shooting hella threes. That's how the Golden State Warriors won in their heyday too, just shooting the other teams off the floor. So they're
But
already
yeah,
at
no,
that for us. Go ahead.
You know
but
who
yeah,
could be
no,
our freak? Like, sorry, go ahead.
but yeah, no. Just before I lose my train of thought, to touch back on Ryan Dunn, dude, like we knew his offense was limited at Virginia. What we're seeing is his he actually is in an up tempo offense now. Like it's fast paced. He's able to have fun. He's not having to think about going, super slow like he was in Virginia's offense. And as we mentioned, he can shoot, he can play defense. He's got a couple of good steals. I think he can be that, complete Swiss Army knife player that Mikal Bridges used to be for us.
That would be awesome. I don't know. I can't. Mikel's my dog. I miss Mikal Bridges, man. Like seriously, he was once in a lifetime type of player for us, and I wish that we could have kept that team together, man. I think about it more and more, but I'm okay with having KD. It's cool to have like a legend and stuff. And because Ryan Dunn was even saying, he's like, it's hard out there sometimes to shoot the ball, but when Kevin Durant's telling you to shoot the ball, it's easy to shoot it. It's like that's freaking Kevin Durant.
For sure.
So I like that we have a
And
player that has that effect on other players that want to play with him just because, he's KD.
well, that and just we have so much experience in, we got guys like Book, we got guys like KD. We actually have a coach that has a real plan in place, can run with a real point guard. We're actually going to see what Booker, KD, and Beal can do together because they actually have Tyus Jones to tie it all together.
Yep, and most importantly, we'll get to see what Bol looks like. No, just kidding.
100%. I can't wait to see the regular season start.
We have a lot of talent differences. We keep preaching it. We actually have a point guard, man.
And how
So
about Gillespie, dude? Gillespie's looked good in the first two games. I know it's preseason, but
I just want to see Frank the Tank, man. Screw everybody else.
he's getting minutes. I hope he gets
I
that
just want
last
to see
roster
Frank the
spot. That
Tank in
would
the
be.
regular season, man.
He was putting in work and doing great things before he got hurt.
Hope it's not a Dario Saric situation where he just never goes back out there.
Oh,
For us,
goodness.
yeah, I can't
That
wait
would,
to see if Booker's game takes another step too. Now that he doesn't have to point Book anymore, I wonder
oh,
if
yeah.
he'll go back in like 40 points, 50 points in certain games.
Just the fact that now, instead of last year where we had no true point guards to run the offense, we got Tyus Jones, we got Morris. Like, we're set on the first team and the second team.
Say something, Dylan.
it's like I was talking about earlier, like you were saying earlier, like we were jacking up like 39 threes and all that. Like which player is gonna like be hot that night? Because any given player between Book, Beal, KD, Grayson Allen are able to go off for 30. You feel me?
Right, and even outside of those guys, Royce O'Neal can get hot and hit 7 threes in a night
Oh,
with 5
yeah.
threes, So it's like, I like it. I like it a lot.
And then I'm looking for that outside the three. I'm looking for that X factor, like Giannis in the finals against us. Who's going to drive in for us in the paint? I'm thinking possibly Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
You already know he can drive, he can dunk, he's quick, but like, please stay healthy because we need somebody. I can't really trust Nurk. I think he's too slow, but I feel like he can still get the rebounds and the second chance points. In my opinion, Plumlee's going to be dope, but again, he doesn't have the driving mobility.
Right.
I feel like the only guy realistically, I mean, Book can, but like I don't want Book to get dirty like that. We need him. So like what makes sense to me, Bradley Beal to drive in. We need that guy to do the dirty work, and it's going to need to be Bradley Beal, and then have Tyus Jones be the one to distribute. In my opinion, the way to make this work.
Yeah, I think Bradley just shoot too, man. Bradley needs to shoot too. He needs to score. Give us Washington, Bradley Bill.
Everybody's already a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I literally just got a notification. Bradley Beal looks good in Phoenix Suns preseason.
Oh, and by the way, we have another forgotten guy that's coming back that we haven't had at all last year. Damien Lee.
Yes.
What?
I think he's going to be key. He's already been in the preseason, bro.
I've been watching highlights. Maybe I haven't just been paying attention enough to highlights.
But we'll have him healthy.
I pay attention like truly closely, like literally night of tip offs. Like I only watch highlights of preseason. Like I'm not a big fan of preseason of any sport.
Me neither. He had a crazy surgery though. He didn't know if he was ever going to play basketball again like a month ago.
Do you think he's gonna have a spot?
I don't know. He's been gone forever.
I know. Like that's why I'm like, what? Like,
he can shoot that thing, and he's related to Steph Curry, so I'm sure he'll be around.
He made. I remember him making a few good shots for us.
A
couple years back, when we had Monty Williams at the time.
But yeah, no. Overall, like we are so much deeper, I believe, than we were last year.
100%.
Besides the point, like we got grinders, workhorses like Plumlee in there. Frank the Tank, if you bring him back in the fold, another workhorse, can stretch, can hit the three.
Right. It makes sense. Like last year's roster didn't make sense. And the reason why you knew it didn't make sense is because Frank Vogel couldn't make sense of it. There wasn't clear positions for players. People didn't know what they were supposed to do or what they were supposed to, you know what I mean? Like, he had shooting guards playing point guards, had Bol playing center. Like, they were just out of sorts. Now everybody knows exactly what they're doing. There's actually clear positions. They're going to run a clear system. It's not just going to be like whatever you come up with, KD and Book.
Vogelisms.
Yeah, I didn't like Vogel. People say, "Oh, don't play Vogel."
He just got a coaching job, I heard. An assistant coach.
I think he's a consultant for where's the Mavs?
I don't know your team.
Mavericks.
I do know.
Yep, consultant for the Mavs.
They're assembling everybody who hates Phoenix. They're literally doing it. Yeah, they're like, if you don't like Phoenix, you have a job.
Yeah, they're like, hey, Luka, like, fucking, this is Book's weakness, bro. Like, that's not what we need, bro. Because Vogel knows Booker's weaknesses, and you're going to put Luka on him. Crazy. You have somebody inside the source to go inside our enemy's source in Dallas and give them all of our weaknesses. That's what we need.
Mark Cuban was the one that referred Vogel for the Suns' job.
I know.
It was all an insider plan.
It's an internal implosion.
Allegedly. Mark Cuban, don't sue me. I love you. I'm actually a huge Mark Cuban fan. But
that was death dirt.
Down with the Mavs, though. Sorry, guys. I used to like the Mavericks when they had Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Michael Finley, Antoine Jameson. That's one of my favorites.
Those were the OG Mavericks.
And then Steve Nash came back home.
Yeah, the run and gun Suns that were screwed.
Nash should have came and worked for the Suns, not the damn Golden State Warriors. Who cares if your family lives in California? I don't care about your family. Nah, that's too much. We love you, Steve Nash, but you shouldn't have went to Los Angeles, you dirty bastard. I'm still salty about that.
Yeah, no, that just thinking about, just even the photoshops of him in a Laker jersey made me want to puke.
And then seeing the real thing made me actually puke. No,
I know, that made me gag.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck, bro? That's just disgusting. And he broke his back, not broke his back, but hurt his back lifting luggage after that. I
was going to say his body puked out on him anyway before he got going in LA.
No lie though, if I was a basketball player, I'd want to play with Kobe Bryant too. I'd sacrifice my pride and go to the Lakers. It's Kobe, man.
Man,
Fucking
did you hear
Kobe.
that report? Did you hear that report that back in the day, 07, Kobe almost got traded to the Mavericks to be paired with Dirk?
Dude, they would have won so many championships.
Dude, at least 3 or 4.
Bro, I would have had that Kobe Bryant Mavericks jersey, dog. Oh my god.
I like the Mavericks colors. They're pretty clean, but I fucking hate the Mavericks.
I didn't hate the Mavericks. I used to be the Suns and Mavs. I used to like both of them. But like obviously the Suns more. But I love Dirk Nowitzki, one of my favorite players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they had him and Nash, oh boy, I was like, come on, man, how can I hate this team? There's no way.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing before you said it. Like I never disliked the Mavs when they had Dirk. He would always cook us, man. Always with that setback fadeaway,
Dude.
filthy, man. He
Cook
was
us.
always torch us for 40, man. I
Yeah.
love Dirk. I never disliked the Mavs back then.
Me neither. But now I
he and Kobe, like Dirk and Kobe, the last 2 players to basically single-handedly win a champ or carry their team to a championship.
right for sure. They were like 70% of the reason those teams won.
100%.
And the only reason why I dislike them now is because I wanted Kyrie those 2 times he was available, and they kept him.
That's so funny. I wouldn't want Kyrie and KD together.
Oh gosh, that would be a New Brooklyn situation all over again.
Yeah, I saw what they did in Brooklyn. I'm like, just one of them, just one by themselves.
Well, it's funny because on Bleacher Reports, one of their articles I saw this morning, KD is one of their prime, I'm going to ask out mid-season kind of moves.
They always have KD on those lists because he jumped ship on the Golden State Warriors. He's always going to get that rep.
Do you think that ever would be in play?
He called it clickbait for attention. Like he had an interview with, I believe, Kellen Olson about it. Like
he doesn't like
pissed off about it and shit. It's just clickbait.
So he's 100% happy here.
That's what he's told. That's what he told Kellen Olson in an interview a couple months back in the offseason. Just clickbait.
I think that this is
for attention,
bro. He's old. He's got to win with Book. He's got to win with this team. They're trying to do everything they can.
I think
last year would be the year.
I was gonna say our championship window is at probably just another 2 more years.
Mm-hmm. Probably, unless we can parlay Durant into something at the end of the 2 years, and I highly doubt that. Unless we actually do win something, which then why not just stay here and retire? You know.
I mean, Booker's already in year 10.
That's crazy to think about.
So, how many more years of Book too?
That's true. How many more years of Book? Maybe Book gets sick and wants to play for the Pistons because he loves Detroit so much.
And he can do his last year. His last year, he knows he has left. But other than that, like,
I think he'll do that and then come back to the Suns and retire his son. He ain't gonna retire no fucking Piston.
Yeah, no,
like,
he loves.
He's already done too much.
He loves Michigan, but he's not leaving.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, like, KD gets too old, retire. Booker gets too old, retire. Beal's like, oh, they're gone. Like, he might be done too. So, like, could you see like another Suns like long rebuild again, possibly in the future?
If we
Depending
win,
on
I
how
don't
the front office.
If we win, I don't care what we do. We can do whatever we want. We can get rid of everybody. Let's win.
But the key to this Suns championship, we're gonna find out, is having Budenholzer and a point guard.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully it's that easy.
I hope the guys are carrying that disappointment and energy, or I should say lack of energy from last year's sweep in Minnesota, bringing that into the season with a lot to prove.
I think they are, man. I think they know what time it is and how much of a failure it's already been if you look at the people that we have on the team and what we're supposed to do and what we did. You got swept by Minnesota. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
So
as
yeah,
good as the young Wolves teams are, like, there's no way with the roster that we had, we should have ever even been in the conversation to be swept. It's freaking Vogel and his dog crap lack of adjustments.
and the players just didn't bring it either. They just
Yeah,
didn't
no, they
bring it
tuned him out. They tuned him out.
for sure. And on top of that, if anybody else, Bradley Beal has to come spank some ass this year because of how he was talking before he got swept. Oh my god, it was so bad. I was so embarrassed
Dude,
for him because Jesus Christ.
yeah, he's got a lot to prove, not only just because they're trying to, you know, people are calling him out for his, injury history. And then not only that, but it's like you got something like that to say, and then how it ended, you have to come back even stronger than ever.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying earlier. He's my certain X factor this season, and then Tyus. So, Brad, it's all up to Beal, man. His availability and his on court play.
Well, shoot, even in limited minutes, you saw Tyus get 7 assists.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Distribute.
Dude, we're gonna make so much money out of Tyus Jones assist props this year because when we're on, everybody can shoot, man. Every single person. The bench, Grayson Allen, everyone. They can all
Yeah.
shoot.
Hopefully, he cannot scream as much as Chris Paul did. Go just under. You know.
Right. Chris Paul
Oh
would
my
always
God.
but and they always had Chris Paul's numbers inflated as hell though.
The only thing we have to worry about is playing Chris Paul because he's going to try to do that acting that he always does.
That
Bro,
is gonna be annoying. We're gonna play him way more this year.
him to Wemby looks real nice.
And,
Oh, 100%. Like, I hope. I mean, and we've seen that Chris Paul translates into playoff appearances.
Chris Paul and Popovich, the level that of development when he's about to undergo is crazy.
Well, I was going to say the IQ between the two of those guys is off the charts.
Chris Paul doesn't care where he plays, man. He really doesn't. I respect him for that. He's been
He
on
just wants to give back to the game and to, help develop the future generation.
Chris Paul's truly cursed. He would have had a championship had they let him go play with Kobe.
Yeah, it's funny. They wouldn't allow that to happen, but all the stuff they let happen now.
That's crazy, bro. They literally robbed Chris Paul of a championship for no reason.
It's up at 5 on Spurs winning the finals. Shit, we did our first year with Chris Paul, yeah. I mean, Wemby might go freak mode and nobody knows how to stop it. I don't even know what the odds are the Spurs win the finals, but like
No, it's not gonna happen.
with the
like,
Chris Paul, bro, everybody said that about the Suns. Not gonna happen. And look,
We were much closer than they are.
I mean, every team that Chris Paul goes to where no one says, "Oh, it's not gonna happen," they go far. And then we went to the
On the
finals, man.
playoffs.
Like,
Look on the playoffs.
I was gonna say if like their ceiling is probably a 6 or a 7 seed.
I think so too.
I mean, that's all respect to Chris Paul, man. That's how great of a player he is. I just wish he
100%.
was. I just wish he just wasn't as hurt as much as he was during his time with us. But
Yeah.
Now, I honestly think there's no excuse for what we did. We were up 2-0 in the finals. How do you lose?
I know, pain, forever pain.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It makes me sick.
That's why this year is the year now. So
Yeah, I love the
Now.
Suns, and I hate the way we be losing sometimes. It's so trash. It makes you want to cry. Makes you want to cry. Cry in the lonely night, thinking.
Oh man.
well, shall we go from depressing crying to happy Cardinals?
No, we
No.
should stay with depressing crying because Robert Saleh is already fired after 5 days or 5 games with the
Not
New
yet.
York Jets and Aaron
Dude.
Rodgers. Dude,
Go
how
from
depressing.
crying to rage.
I think they said that he got escorted out of the building by security too.
That's
Is that really?
wild.
Yeah, like what the fuck
Dude.
happened?
Like that's crazy excessive. Like how what did they think Solly was gonna go into confront Aaron Rodgers and deck him in the face?
I don't know. They got pretty violent on the field after a hug after they scored. So
I heard that when the Jets owner was like, "Oh, this was not when he had talked to Aaron Rodgers the following night on a press conference. His screen was pitch black, so everything he was saying, A-Rod was not informed of this and that. Like Pinocchio knows, dude. So why was your screen black in the first place? All of it is shade, man, in New York right now.
So shady. I feel sorry for the Jets fans. Think about this. You're struggling with your team with Zach Wilson and Mike White. Everybody's losing. And all of a sudden, we're getting freaking Aaron Rodgers. And they get freaking Aaron Rodgers. And then first game, he pops his Achilles. And everything's screwed from then on. Everything's just been chaotic and terrible since that day for them. And now, the head coach, who has you one game out of first place. Literally, they beat the Bills next week in their first place in the division. How do you fire that man after 5 games when the reason you're losing is because Nathaniel Hackett in the offense can't score freaking more than 10 points against the Broncos?
I was gonna say Hackett can't hack it, and Aaron Rodgers looks like dirty bong water.
Yeah, he's looking like trash, bro. This is like a nightmare. What the?
You know what I
like,
think? Oh, sorry.
This is like Brett Favre at the end of his career vibes.
Oh.
What do you think, Dylan?
Anyways, I think so. So the word out there on the street is we might find out from Jake Glazer on Sunday that Saleh wanted to get rid of Hackett, and that was not okay with Aaron Rodgers. So I think he threw a fit, went to Woody Johnson, and he was like, "Don't worry, Aaron, we'll take care of this." There goes Saleh, in my opinion. I think Aaron and Saleh never saw eye to eye, in my
Oh, you
opinion.
can tell.
He's a defensive-minded coach. Aaron Rodgers' entire career has dealt with an offensive-minded coach, or he's the one that called the plays.
Yeah, no.
So now Aaron Rodgers is the one that's calling the plays. Ironically, a week prior, Davante Adams is not happy in Las Vegas. A-Rod calling the plays like his entire career, or having an offensive-minded coach. I feel like the Jets are going to call Davante Adams, and it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like this is all Aaron Rodgers, man.
I don't know if it's all Aaron Rodgers. Woody Johnson is pretty. The Jets have been doing crazy things since he's been the owner. To be honest, he just does whatever he wants. He's just like evil. He's Jerry Jones on steroids. Just
Goodness.
Without all the talking, he just does all the meddling. But he's not good at it.
My thing is, like, if you're Davante Adams, like, sure, you get to play with Aaron Rodgers again, but at the same time, why would you take a trade to a place where after he retires in a year or two, there's nobody there that's going to, be stable to keep him going?
Well, Davante, his list of teams he wanted to go to were Jets and Saints, so he wants to go there. So, but my question is, if I'm the next coach, because they're upgrading their DC to head coach. But if I'm the next coach and I just seemed last year to get escorted out by the security, I'm not going to be taking that job, especially when you know you got Aaron Rodgers beating down your neck and you kind of have to do whatever he wants you to do and hire his buddies from 2 years ago or you're going to get fired. I don't know. The Jets, they're kind of screwing themselves and making themselves look bad right now by doing what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And it's wild that both New York franchises are in wild disarray. Ironically enough, though, you had the Giants coming off that huge win against Seattle.
Yeah, I'm about to say the Giants are kind of looking like they're turning it around, honestly. I'm like, Daniel Jones, like, playing.
He hasn't looked bad.
I'm like, Daniel Jones is playing good football. What? He's playing good football, man. It's true.
He's not Danny Dimes yet again, but maybe he's Danny Nichols.
Yeah. Hey, he's not. Hey, he's better than fucking half of these dudes. Like Joe Burrow is 1-4, bro. Like people are acting like he's a reincarnation of Christ, but they're not winning games. But 1-4.
As much as that's a horrible spot to be in. It's about like 70% defense, 30% Burrow. Burrow's doing his job. They just can't stop a nosebleed on defense. You saw the Baltimore game.
Yeah, but I felt like in Burrow's first year, and second year and stuff like that, they could overcome some of the situations that they're not. And I guess a lot of it is defensively, but I just feel like you got to win. You know what I mean? Like you're not. It's not like they're playing tough teams. And they
Right.
lost to the freaking Patriots.
It's just Zach Taylor has a lot of distractions going on, and
You know, they got Hendrickson. They got a couple players on defense. They can't be losing to the Patriots, man.
oh, absolutely not.
And if they lose to the, I think they play the Giants next. If they lose to the Giants, bruh, it's time to panic.
Oh, 100%. Like, if they don't win their next two games, their chance, it's pretty almost certain they're not going to make the playoffs.
Which is crazy. Crazy.
That offense is loaded. That would be a shame to see, them not make the playoffs, especially since offensively, they're probably one of the best shots that the league has of keeping Kansas City from that three-peat.
100%. I think Kansas City will three-peat, though. I got a little Phoenix Suns, Nets, and Kansas City Chiefs future parlay. 250 for 2 racks. It's gonna hit, bro. I think the Chiefs got it this year. I think that even they want Patrick Mahomes to surpass Brady. I don't think he's gonna win as many championships, but I think he'll do it in a way that makes it to where everybody believes he's better, like LeBron and Jordan, kind of. Like LeBron will never win as many championships as Jordan, but like certain people believe that LeBron is better and he's the GOAT. So, speaking of teams not making the playoffs and winning their divisions and whatnot, the Cardinals are impressing me. I don't know about you guys. I know everybody's all super expecting the Cardinals to be a Super Bowl contender this year for some reason and judging them on those standards, but I think the Cardinals are overachieving this year, and like I said, we're gonna win. How's that win total looking now, Dylan? Huh, buddy?
It's still not looking great. It's still not looking great, man.
What do you mean it's still not looking great?
I'm still not sold.
Well,
I'm still not sold.
It's time to be sold.
We have a bunch of hungry blue chippers on that defense.
100%.
We should have. I mean, we only had one game that we had in the bag in full control, and that was week 2 against the Rams.
We're second place in the division, bro.
I understand that.
Seahawks,
our entire division has played like shit.
That's fair,
but
that's
not our responsibility.
But think about it. Besides the Washington game, and all due credit to Washington because the whole league is finding out they're genuinely for real. They're no joke. We've 100%. Been in every game. We took it to LA. We showed San Francisco, hey, we're not going to be the whipping boy of the division. We're going to come back and beat you in your own house. And that not only the defense played absolutely outstanding in that second half. And for Kyler Murray to have the poise to finish that game down 13, all the credit in the world.
Yeah, for sure. And on top of that, like, you got to think, like, these teams are going to beat themselves. Like, if Seattle beats San Francisco tonight, dude,
I don't see it.
He can't play a good full 4 quarters of football is my thing.
Nobody can, though. It's like, as long as we win the game, I don't care about that. Every quarter doesn't have to be good. As long as the score reads Cardinals a lot, other team less, that's good. You know what I mean? Like, that's how the NFL is.
And I mentioned in another segment, or a little bit ago, it's going to be hard to win games if you're not winning the turnover battle. San Francisco beat us in all categories, time of possession, yards, and first downs. But where did we beat them? The most important aspect. We had 1 turnover. They had 3. We capitalized.
Yeah, man, it's that simple. And we Shanahan is, I think it was like 38-0 in games where they led by 10 points in the fourth quarter, and we put
That's
them one in that
insane.
situation. And also, I think that was the first time that they've been shut out in the second half in Brock Purdy's whole career. So, big ups to the Cardinals.
For sure.
Well,
I mean,
Kyler though has the best everything out of all the QBs in the NFC West between Purdy, Smith, and Stafford.
Yeah, he's the best quarterback right now, and it's not a coincidence. It's not. Kyler's the best first quarter player in the league. Period.
But we see all these great numbers though, like with Cliff Kingsbury, and when he came back. Now we see all these insane and great numbers, but where has it gotten us? Where has it gotten us?
Dylan, we're
better than
You feel
other
me?
cooking,
teams.
It has
bro.
gotten us nowhere besides the farthest blowout first round exit. That's
Hey,
where
but
it has got
gotta
nowhere but that.
you gotta think about it.
Different coaching staff.
And not even that, but you just think about it like this: if Kyler Murray is in all those top stats and he's doing all good, and our defense is the fourth worst rushing defense, you know what I mean? The fourth worst passing defense. Our special teams giving up points. How is that Kyler's responsibility? Just like you were saying with Burrow. Burrow's doing his job. Kyler, if you look at his numbers and you look at everything, all indications are Kyler's doing his part.
If it's the coaching staff, though, like why did the opposing coach that we had bend us over like that against the Commanders?
Because he matured. He's not a coach. He has to just worry about the offense. He's a good offensive coordinator. That's how he got hired. He's always been a good offensive coordinator. He's not the Commanders' head coach. And he ran the ball. When he was in Arizona, like, and Cliff talked about it in his post-game conference, actually. He said he matured a lot since he was in Arizona. He's running the damn ball and it's not just college air raid.
Not trying to do trick, fancy,
right.
hoop-de-doo-dah.
And Jaden Daniels is he gets the ball out fast too. That's one thing about Kyler Murray that I will say he could do better is he doesn't get the ball out as fast. It's like a Geno Smith or a Jaden Daniels. Kyler gets it out in like 2.62 seconds or something like that, and they get it out in like 2.48 and 2.52, and that is just it's just a little bit more effective on like screenplays and stuff like that for timing and stuff like that, I guess. So I think stuff like that matters. But at the end of the day, Kyler Murray did better, not better, but he did the same exact thing that Jaden Daniels is doing in his first year. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year. We won like 7 games straight. We didn't lose, you know what I mean, in 7 games. He ran up the score and nobody could touch him. You know what I mean? That was his first year. Same exact thing's going to happen to Jaden Daniels next year. Everybody's going to watch film and he's going to come back down to earth. Now, he might not suck. He might not be rattled or whatever the case may be, but he's not going to be doing this every year. And if he does, then he's just a dog. He's just a different. If he does that and he continues to be inconsistent, he's just a better player than Kyler Murray, which is okay, But I don't believe that at this current moment. But yeah, I mean, Cliff matured. Good for him, and good for the Washington Commanders.
Well, and it's just like you mentioned, Dame. The defense has adjusted to guys pretty quick. You've seen how defenses have adjusted against CJ Stroud this year.
For sure. And he's a dog. He's still figuring out ways to win. And you're saying, what is it got us? We're second in our division, and we're undefeated in the NFC West right now. So it's like, if we can lock that up early and we can build a lead in the division, let's say we go to San Francisco, we win there, and we beat both the Rams and the Hawks. Not the Rams and the Hawks, but the Rams and the Niners. And all we have to do is worry about the Seahawks, who are a super beatable team, So I feel like San Francisco, they're in their final form as far as their roster goes. They got all the big dogs, and Seahawks are pretty close to final form. I think they're like 60-70% of the way. But I feel like the Cardinals are only like 40% away from we're like 40%. We're not even close. We're not even halfway to our potential with all the players and stuff we could get back and people that we could get in the future and just the current guys we get getting better. Because remember, our secondary is rookies and scrap heap players like Jalen Thompson, who's beast, but he wasn't like highly regarded. So we got way worse teams than them, and we're still duking it out with them.
I would just like to see. I mean, honestly, for me to be sold, a deep playoff run.
With this team, with this current team.
Well, Kiwi's the most important position in the team, in my opinion. And Kyler's our guy, though, right? I
I
mean,
honestly,
we're paying him what, damn near $40 million a year, and for what, bro? If that's not the expectations, what do we have him on the team for paying him that much?
we're building to that though. I think that we could, if we
We're
make
your sixth building. We're gonna wait till his 10th year when he's almost done. It doesn't run as fast and as less like Russell. Like, how much
no,
longer do you want to wait for? And that goes up to management too, to Monty. It's like, okay,
yeah.
like back up your dude, bring in players at the deadline on some defense and offense, and let's go. If Kyler's truly our guy.
I think if we brought in some like splash acquisitions, we have a lot of draft capital. If we got a Son Reddick from the Jets, brought him back over to the desert, you know what I mean? We need a player like that. We don't need no splash Devontae Adams on offense signing. We need a splash, hit home, defender, pass rusher, and a cornerback. We can get a stud corner and a stud D end or a stud like linebacker that can rush the passer really well. Yeah, deep playoff runs in store. But if we can't get pressure on quarterbacks consistently and we can't stop the run, we're not going anywhere.
Why pay him a group of money that later amount of his career when nothing's get done? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's like, oh, we're getting there. Okay, he's on year 8. He's on year 8. Oh, we're getting there. We're still building, but we're on year 8 of Kyler. Let's just move on at this fucking point and find another guy.
Well, the thing about it is, it's the coaches. So if we had the same coach and it was a successful system and he won offensive rookie of the year and then just started petering out talent-wise, and we're doing everything we can, we're putting around good teams, and he just, he's doing it Deshaun Watson, then I could see that. But we got a musical chair of coaches, musical chair of systems. It's not that easy to just, because technically we started over when we got Jonathan Gannon. It's not the same continuation of that timeline.
Gannon never got his quarterback, in my opinion. No, he didn't. He needs his own guy and his own scheme out of college, in my opinion.
He had a chance to do that, and he said, no, I want to
Murray's a guy.
He has another chance. That's what he's supposed to say. That's what he's supposed to say at the interview. No, I want to work with Murray. That's what he's supposed to say.
No, he said that after he got the job and gave him more money. They didn't have to, after they gave Kyler more money, they could have traded him. They could have done whatever they want when Jonathan Gannon got here. And he said, I'm going to evaluate it. He didn't just say, yeah, Kyler's a guy. He actually kept Kyler out of games when Kyler was healthy to evaluate other quarterbacks and see what the deal was. So I think that Jonathan Gannon is really sold.
And it's just like, to touch on, how long you've been in the league doesn't exactly dictate where you flourish or where you struggle. Because, I mean, look at Geno Smith. How long did he sit or look terrible in a bad situation in New York, etc.? And then now you have him flourishing the last, couple years in Seattle. He's looking like the guy that he was supposed to, years ago. It's about finding the coaching staff that, gives you the best chance to do what you do best. And Gannon's doing that, for Kyler.
Yeah, I really think that the whole team is playing for each other, playing for the coach, and you can tell they care. And it's evident because the defense is playing so much above their talent, just on passion. So if they can keep that up, if this defense can continue playing like they played against San Fran, I don't see why we can't make a deep playoff run. They've shown that they can beat teams and beat them bad, and they've shown that they can lose and come back from a big deficit. I think it was we were down by double digits at the half versus San Francisco, down by 10 in the fourth quarter.
It was 23-10.
Yeah. So I just think give this team a little more time, this current regime. So give them 1 or 2 years. And if it's not working out after then we can start saying, okay, maybe he's not the dude. You know what I'm saying? Because
I think a big test will be Lambeau.
Yeah. A good test will be Green Bay for sure. And on top of that, Kyler didn't have a full year with Gannon again in his first year. It was Joshua Dobbs most of the time. So Yeah, it's too early, I think, with this regime because they already love each other so much, and they've only been together like a year and a half, basically. So we'll see. I will say they need to run Trey Benson, though. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. They got to give him at least 10 to 12 carries a game.
I was gonna say if not to give Connor a spell, just to keep the defense guessing a little bit,
and to play the rookie that you drafted at very high level. You know, he's not just we didn't just draft him to have him just in case.
Yeah, you didn't sit him to park in the garage.
Yeah.
Or, you didn't buy him to just park him in the garage.
I'm happy that Dylan's the biggest Kyler Murray fan of the group.
Yeah. But hey, a big thing, big game to keep an eye on tonight for Cardinals fans is the Seahawks and the 49ers.
Yeah, Sea Chickens and 49ers. Very big game, very important game. I can't believe Christian McCaffrey is out like this, man. That's pretty wild, to say the least.
I feel bad for anybody who drafted him number 1 overall in fantasy.
The Madden curse.
Yeah, man. Seriously.
I believe it's real, bro. Like, it's just ironic. Like, if you look at all the athletes.
I didn't believe it until McCaffrey got hurt, bro. It's too real. It's too real. It happens to each and every one of them. It's nuts.
Dude, I feel like
Lamar Jackson. It happens to all of them. Legitimately, every single one of them. It's nuts.
I feel like my Madden or my Pick'em record is a Madden curse.
Me too.
That's the signal of call it. Let's see. So through 4 weeks, we're finally up to date. We didn't get for week 5, but we'll keep up to date. But so far, I'm still the lead dog. The only one above 500, by the way, at 33 and 27, and Frankie and Dame are at 29 and 31 tied. So they're still tied. They still can't break away to get second or be above me. So
I think somebody's fudging the numbers here.
no. Everything is on video, my friend.
Think you're fudging the numbers. I don't care if it's on video, okay?
I mean, you can keep track through the first 4 weeks because I have my dude.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just salty. I'm
And who knows? You might have gone first place week 5, but I didn't get to week 5 yet. So who knows? One of y'all might have gone to first place.
I always think I'm gonna do it, and then I never end up committing to doing it. So yeah, I'm interested to see, but well, I guess we'll have to give it a after we do this round of pick'ems. You guys ready?
I'm making a comeback.
We'll be fully caught up episode 11, big promise. But
are you gonna stop jumping out the window and picking crazy things, Frankie?
Oh no, I might still go wild.
He said, "Oh no, certainly not."
He got that good line before the show. He's like, "All right, let's go, Panthers!"
Right? The Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, the Red Rifle, whatever you want to call him. Whatever you want to call him, man. The Red Rocket, the Red Rifle, man. So okay, y'all want to do it now? Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Let's get into it. All right. So it's week 6, right, in the NFL. NFL week 6 schedule. Let's start off with the Thursday night game, which is today, ironically. So when you guys watch the video, this game will already have been played, so you can know just how wrong Dylan and Frankie were. I'm gonna go with. Damn, this is tough. I don't want to pick San Fran or Seattle. I hate both of these teams, but I'm gonna have to go with San Francisco. I trust them more. They have a better roster, top to bottom. They just got embarrassed. Well, not embarrassed. They just lost to us in a very close game, and they can't lose another division game. They haven't won a game in the division this year, so they have to win this game, or it's pretty bad for them. So I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. What about you, Dylan?
I'm going to go with San Fran too, only for the fact that the Shanahan's statement after the game that we had no reason to lose that game. We need to find a way to finish. Other than that, it's another division rival game, and I feel like it's a must-win for San Fran, and especially to Shanahan at heart, so I'm going with San Fran in this one.
Frankie?
I was going to say, the minute the minute Shanahan said that, I'm just like, well, if they get out to a good start, the floodgates are going to open. The gas pedal is going to be pushed all the way to the floor. This San Francisco team is, especially defensively and even offensively, way too talented to go to 2-4. Not going to happen. Yeah, Seattle is loaded with talent offensively, but you saw last week they had a brutal loss against the Giants. Even though the Giants are, on the rise a little bit, wild enough. I just don't see San Francisco losing another division game. San Francisco is going to roll.
All right, awesome. Now we're moving into the Sunday slate. The first one is, I think this might be in London because it's at 6:30 a.m. and it's the Jags, the London Jags versus the Bears and Caleb Williams.
Might as well be the London Jags.
Right, seriously. You know what? This one is tough for me because the Jags have just looked so bad. They just look so terrible this year. They're just so awful. But they're starting to catch a vibe. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars. The London Jags, I'm going to go with the whole London narrative if it is in London. I mean, let me actually look at that before I go.
Jaguars finally return home after 5
Yep. Jaguars finally return home. That's just hilarious. So London Jags, that's great. London Jag. What about you, Frankie?
Oh my gosh. I mean, the past couple of weeks we've kind of seen what everybody thought Caleb Williams was going to be with his loaded offense. Keenan Allen's still getting off to a slow start, but who cares if he's got DJ Moore that he's going to hit in the end zone all day. First 300-yard game, but I like the direction, at least offensively, the Jags, turned last week. Defensively, still clearly a lot of work, but Trevor Lawrence did look good last week. I think he can expose the defense a little bit in Chicago. It's going to be another shootout, but I'd give the edge to the Jacksonville or London Jags.
I don't know. I try to mock Caleb. I don't know. I'm trying to make it interesting. I haven't really made it like a shocker pick, I guess. So I'm gonna go with the Bears on this one. Everyone seems to be on the Jags this week. I mean, I don't trust Lawrence after one game, and I feel like that locker room's not vibing with Peterson low key. He could be out after this year, in my opinion. So I don't know. Maybe the Bears might go away with this one.
Hey, I want to pick the Bears too, but I'm gonna stick with the London Jags. But that's a solid pick. It's probably why you're winning right now. Buccaneers versus the Saints at New Orleans. This is a tough one for me, man. I honestly think this is going to be the battle of the frauds. And I don't think Buccaneers are frauds. I think the Saints might be frauds. So I'm going to go with the team I trust more. Baker's been rolling. Derek Carr, he's always ready to return back to being Derek Carr at any moment's notice. So
and he's out, bro.
Huh?
And Derek Carr is out, bro.
He's out?
He's hurt.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been working a lot this week.
Oh, you should have told him. No.
I was going with the Bucks anyway, so
well, you know my fucking pick now. You know my pick now, bro.
Sheesh. All right.
Oh, it's all good. You know my pick now.
Looks on your face.
The Bucks, yeah, Bucks.
What about you, Frankie?
I mean, Baker Mayfield is not a fraud. The Bucks are not a fraud. Baker looks like an MVP candidate. And I mean, why wouldn't you if you had Godwin, Mike Evans, at your disposal? And it's just like the Saints have just been in a bad direction. And then to make that worse, Derek Carr gets hurt. You got potentially Spencer Rattler making the start for the Saints, which would be very interesting. They're going to lean heavily on Kamara, so Tampa's going to stack the box and make the rookie throw. Tampa all day.
All right, awesome.
I was wanting to widen my gap of first place, Frankie.
That's so funny. Next one is in Big Trust. Baltimore Ravens go against Jaden Daniels in the scorching hot Washington Commanders. This game is going to be a no-brainer for me. I'm going to go with Baltimore. Yeah, I just think that the Commanders got to lose eventually, right? They got to let human eventually, and why not against Baltimore and the Rockets, Big Trust Stadium? Yeah, I like Baltimore. What about you, Dylan? Or Frankie? Is it Frankie? It's Frankie.
Either or, I'll start it. But
Right.
yeah, just to tack onto what you said. Baltimore is starting to catch steam and is loaded offensively and as great as Washington has looked. I think this is going to be their down to earth game. Derrick Henry has just been off the charts. The minute he gets a hole, he is completely through. Lamar can run, and last week Lamar can show you his passing game too. I just think Baltimore is more complete right now. Offensively, you got Likely, you got Andrews, and Zay Flowers is just going to go off again. So I'm going Ravens.
I'm going Commanders. They're just going up and down the field like it's nobody's business. And until proven otherwise, and defense has found a way to stop whatever Cliff and Jaden are dialing up that's hasn't been seen in the NFL yet, I'm gonna ride with Commanders.
Nice. I love that. Dylan is a brave man tonight. Next one is gonna take place in the frozen tundra at Lambeau Field. Our boys, our team, the home heroes, the Arizona Cardinals roll in to face Jordan Love, who Chris Broussard is calling J-Lo now. So for some reason, they're going to go face J-Lo and the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to pick the Cardinals again. If I pick the Cardinals every week, everyone, don't be mad. I like the Cardinals a lot. I like what the team is made of. Green Bay is very up and down. Their offense is really good when they're really good, and then when they're not, they're not. So I feel like we can do things to make them uncomfortable. They don't blow me away. I think we can beat them. It's that simple. What about you, Dylan?
I'm not taking a loss because I'm picking a Cardinals win. I'm a cheesehead this weekend. I mean, I don't know how we won against San
Shock.
Francisco. I called a 1-6 start in my opinion, but I mean, I don't know. I haven't picked the opposing team in the last couple of weeks. I'm gonna do that for the sake of my record. I'm a cheesehead.
Oh, man. Well, I am not a cheesehead. We're not going to Wisconsin. The only person from Wisconsin that I like is Frank Kaminsky. Got it? But anyway, I like the vibes rolling into Green Bay. If Kyler Murray can get off to a hot start again and our defense can get pressure on Jordan Love and, control Josh Jacobs, I think we can get the win. But we're going to have to win the turnover battle because we know Jordan Love can throw it and he can beat us on the run. But it's just going to matter with if we can keep the run game balance and who makes the stop. I think Cardinals are going to squeak out a 17-14 win.
Wow, I don't think it's going to be that low scoring, but
Are we
I love
seeing
that.
Jair versus Marv?
That's going to be
Marv got to show up
nice.
this game.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to throw him the ball too, though. But he's
Especially
got
now
to
that we don't have Zay Jones still.
Mm-hmm. Him and Robinson downgraded to out, by the way, you guys haven't heard yet.
I wonder if this is where we see Weaver step up.
Is Weaver activated? I thought he's been out for like every single game.
Maybe he gets activated with.
I would love to see Weaver play a game because legitimately, like, hello.
We need to give somebody else a shot because, I mean, George is just getting
Help out here,
blanketed.
guys. Although, I mean, the Cardinals are not. The way the media is talking about the Cardinals is scaring me. They're talking about the Cardinals like they could be good. I'm like, no, stop talking about us like this, please.
Makes I take real company.
Yeah.
We don't do good with big pressure.
We don't. So next game, we're going to go to Tennessee. This is absolute slop fest between two trash bin teams. Tennessee Titans versus the Indianapolis Colts. This one heavily depends on quarterback for me. If Joe Flacco is playing, let me look into it real quick. If Joe Flacco,
the ageless wonder.
You want me to go?
Well, I'll put it like this: if Joe Flacco is playing, I pick the Colts. If he's not playing, I pick the Titans. What about you, Dylan?
Ooh,
Oh, we're gonna do it that way.
I am. I mean, if I have to do it without doing that, I'm gonna go with because it's hard to score if I do that. So actually it's not hard to score. Whatever outcome is whatever outcome. But that's how I feel about the game. Because if Joe Flacco plays, the Colts protect.
I like both Colts quarterbacks against Tennessee, so I'm going with Colts. Period.
You know what? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna go with the Colts, make it easier.
well, that doesn't make my pick any fun then.
Why? What's your pick?
I mean,
The Colts.
the Titans are a bag of mystery and a bag of dog whatever. You want to call it puke, you want to call it shit, you want to call it pee, what have you. They have all this talent on offense, especially at the receiver position, but nobody to give them the ball consistently. Everything is just going wrong in Tennessee right now. And just absolute hot dog water. I'm going with the sweep.
Nice. There you go. We gotta get a sweep in there at least once. Texans go on the road to play Mayo and May. That's great. May and the mayonnaise New England Patriots because they are nasty, and I did not want them anywhere near my plate. I'm gonna
They're
go.
definitely not Miracle Whip.
They're gonna go against the New England Patriots and Mayo.
No,
and
Patriots and who?
Texans.
Texans. Oh, that's okay.
The Houston Texans. CJ Stroud and them. I'm gonna go with CJ Stroud and the Texans to beat them badly in New England.
Oh my gosh.
That's simple. Frankie, what about you?
I mean, best of luck to Drake May. He doesn't have any protection. You might as well be walking into a firing squad.
Pretty bad.
They killed Jacoby Brissett. And I mean, I'm not defending his play because he wasn't very good, but at the same time, the minute he snapped the ball, he was into the ground. And to make things worse, your first career start is against the freaking Texans and CJ Stroud. Diggs and Stroud are going to have a field day. Diggs is going 115, 2 tutties, and Stroud's going for 300. It's not going to be pretty. Maybe if anything salvages anything for New England, it's Stevenson, but it's going to be at least 34-16.
Yeah, but Stephon Diggs really couldn't get me that touchdown last week against his former team Buffalo for 1,600.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm always close every week NFL season. Pain. But yeah, Frankie pretty much nailed it to the nail this one. I don't think I have to discuss any further. Houston.
Yeah. No need to discuss it. Now we're going to Philly, where the Eagles face off against the Browns. Isn't Deshaun Watson out?
For the Browns, they hope probably.
It doesn't matter either way. I'm going to pick the Eagles. The Eagles are better than the Browns. The Browns look absolutely terrible. Not going to pick the Browns at all again this season, probably. So I'm going to go with the Eagles. What about you, Dylan?
Eagles. I mean, they have to bounce back eventually. I mean,
right.
I mean, Watson or without Watson. I mean, I just have zero confidence in the Browns. There's nothing too wild about them, really, in my opinion. So, yeah, Eagles.
Yeah, no, their play is their color. It's pretty gruesome. At this point, they might as well put a one-legged Nick Chubb in at quarterback. Deshaun Watson has been that bad. The only salvation is that Nick Chubb will be back in a couple weeks, but again, he doesn't play quarterback. I don't know what Watson has on this organization other than the money, blackmail. I don't know what, but he has been pure.
Yeah, exactly.
Did Deshaun Watson do you dirty in like fantasy or like a bet or something? Like, damn, bro, that's like 2 you got on him.
But no, Browns are not winning at all.
All right. So, no, we all know that the Browns are garbage.
The only bowl the Browns are going to is the one I take them to tonight.
Wow. All right. Hopefully, Bo Nix doesn't take his team to the bowl against the Chargers. They're in Bronco territory, Bronco country. That's right. They're in Denver, facing off against Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert in the Chargers. I am going to go Broncos. No, I'm not gonna. I can't do it. I'm gonna go Chargers. I love Bo Nix. I love Bo Nix, but I gotta be realistic here. The Broncos defense is super good though, so that's why I was like, it's not as easy a decision as you would like to believe. But I'm gonna spare you the theatrics. I picked the Chargers for this one. What about you, Frank?
I mean, honestly, I like Bo Nix. I like the Broncos defense. Their turnaround has honestly been pretty impressive considering. But it's wild to think that Bo Nix has won a game being 12 of 25 for 60 yards. Just put that in perspective. But I don't think that's going to happen again. I think Harbaugh has the Chargers in the right direction. I think the Chargers squeak out a 24-17 win.
Yeah, we're going to sweep on this one. That's twice you did me, Dame, where you making me think that you're going to pick the different team than me. That's all good.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, bro. I have to think about my record, you know?
I feel it, yeah.
That one
Hey.
was but if the Broncos win, I'm gonna feel fucking salty because I really didn't want to pick them, but I can't. I'm not gonna do it. So the next one is Justin Fields and the Steelers going into the Raiders in Las Vegas. For me, give me Justin Fields, give me the Steelers, and let's not even talk about anything else. Done?
I'm gonna go with this. You said it was the Steelers and the Raiders?
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers because Devontae doesn't want to be there and they get a distraction. And even though I have been saying Steelers are sus, I feel like they can pick up a win after losing back to back. So Steelers.
Dude. So I'm just going to put it simply. You have the steel curtain versus the shower curtain.
I'm dead.
The fans are crying in the showers. That's how wild things are in Oakland, Vegas right now. Justin Fields can take care of the ball. I trust Mike Tomlin. He's a great coach. Very strong defense. I don't trust anything the Raiders are throwing out there. Best of luck to Aiden McConnell. TJ Watt is going to smoke you like a salmon. End of story.
Straight up. I feel bad for AOC over there. The next game is going to be in Carolina. And it's going to be Kirko Chains running in there with the Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to take the Falcons. What about you, Frankie?
Oh, gosh. I'm not going on a whim and taking Carolina in this one. Let's just put that out there. Kirk Cousins last week was just on another level. He shows you why he's one of the best passers in the game. And Atlanta just has too many weapons. Carolina just has too many problems. We don't even know if you're going to see Andy Dalton or Bryce Young this week. Carolina is basically the A's of the NFL or the White Sox of the NFL. So if that gives it away, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, Panthers are going to take the L in this one. No explanation.
Right, no explanation.
Doo-doo, garbage.
Next game, we're going to Jerry World, where the Cowboys hold serve against the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff. I'm going to go with Detroit coming in and getting a victory on the road against the Cowboys. They look better in every facet of the ball. The Cowboys have been getting lucky, to be honest, in the games they've won. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions to show the Cowboys what a real team looks like. What about you? Yeah.
I lean Lions. Cowboys should have not won those games, especially last week, bro. That was an ugly Sunday night game, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna side with Cowboys in this one, bro. I mean, I don't care about this game, honestly. I'm still petty about that Lions loss.
Yeah.
But still
Man.
Lions, I guess.
I mean, how could you not go with the Lions? Their offense is so balanced. You have Gibbs and Montgomery, who are, wind and fire. Jared Goff is coming off of a perfect game. And then he has weapons like Amon-Ra, Laporta, and Jamison Williams. Dallas has looked like a mediocre hit or miss JV football team. You never know what you're going to get. Their running game is a huge question. I just think Detroit has a lot more on defense. Give me Detroit 27-17.
Nice. Okay. We got another sweep. Now, I didn't expect that one to be a sweep, to be honest, because I might put some money on certain things in that game. Next one, we're going to New York. New York, New York. And we're gonna have the Giants facing off against Joe Burrow, and the damn Bengals. I was gonna pick the Giants just to troll, but I'm gonna pick the Bengals. The Bengals have to win, man. That's just flat out. They have to win, or the actual season is in jeopardy. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals. What about you, Frankie?
I mean, you hit it on the head. Joe Burrow's been playing good football despite the defensive struggles, but I don't think the New York offense is going to trouble the Bengals defense as much as we saw last week. I think they get it under control a little bit. Chase is going to have a huge game. You obviously saw getting Higgins back has opened up for him to explode. I just think since he just has too much firepower for New York to hit 2 in a row.
Losing this much, it's confusing, really. I can't. I mean,
The
I don't feel
defense.
comfortable with Joe. I don't feel comfortable with Joe Burrow keep losing though, bro. He can't keep losing. You know, Bengals, I guess.
Yeah, that's how I feel too, bro. I feel like it's Bengals, I guess. ... It's my pick. Like,
I know that's what I'm mean right now. ... I guess. Like,
yeah, like ugh, they don't look good, man. There's something going on. Somebody smashed somebody's wife over there or something because they don't look good. Bills, Buffalo, they go into the Jets and they play Aaron Rodgers and that dysfunctional group of rogues. I'm gonna pick the New York Jets on this one. I know it's crazy, but there is something to be said about a coaching switch or a quarterback switch. Teams always come out with some weird spark and win. I'm relying on that single hunch to pick this game, and it's also super interesting. And I'm gonna be right on one of these horrible jet reaches one of these weeks. So I'm gonna go with Jets to keep things exciting, and because I feel like when a coach gets fired, especially when Aaron Rodgers is a part of the situation, he wants to prove everybody wrong in the next game. So you're gonna see Aaron Rodgers go out there and have an MVP Green Bay Aaron Rodgers game, and Brees is gonna find the crease and show him why he's the beast from the East. Woo! Give me the Jets, baby. What about you, Dylan?
I mean, yeah, I mean, remember when the Cardinals offensive, like when Cliff was out and like Spencer Whipple called the plays and like everyone thought we were gonna lose and like it was just like that shocking, like, wow. Yeah, I kind of agree with you at that point, just because of the scenario. Yeah, that is a little interesting. Yeah, Jets on that one. So yeah, I'll go with the Jets on that one because of the same reason.
Nice. I love it. I love that my take convinced you.
Yeah, it did a little bit. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Who did you say the Jets are playing again?
They are playing. Damn it, man. The Bills.
The Bills, exactly. Why are we even talking about this? Why are you giving the Jets so much respect when Aaron Rodgers looks worse
so bad
than Jamarcus Russell?
I know. This is probably dumb.
Like, I will go on a limb and say Saleh was the problem if the Jets win this game.
Okay.
I don't see it happening. The Bills defense, they're going to hit Rodgers so hard, he's going to think he took a rip or an acid trip.
That's so funny. He might like that.
don't trust the Jets offense at all until they show me something. Until Aaron Rodgers can show that he can hit 300 yards without turning it over again, I have no trust. I'm going Bills.
This is where Frankie makes his comeback because literally we're just picking based on coaching scenario, literally nothing else. Like
I know.
if nothing happened, if Saleh was still the coach, I'd 100% pick the Bills and keep it moving. But I think there's something there, so why not get a cheap win if it does? And I'm already losing if not. I think that's good. I think it's a good spot to wrap up. But it's not my decision. It's a 3-man group. What do you guys think?
Ooh.
Let's introduce our sports book to the page with our reels.
Let's do it.
So every week, well, like every other day, basically, we're gonna give out picks on the reels and all that. You guys can follow and all that, but basically, like we're trying to give out winners to y'all. Basically, all we're trying to do, basically trying to build credibility and all that. So, like, look out on the reels if you trying to bet on some games on Sunday or some basketball and all that. Like, we got some plays on our reels. So, like, if you're interested in trying to find some winners, we'll try to bring out some to y'all. So, be another cool look besides the podcast to look on our page. So,
yeah, I love that. I gamble too, so I'll probably be throwing some picks. But I think he's referring to himself and another gentleman by the name of what, Dylan?
Steven Gomez.
Nice.
All right.
Steven Gomez, yeah. So he'll be popping up with us here pretty soon. So
Nice little shout. And also, just letting everybody who is listening know, we do have a merchandise available at our Bonfire affiliate. Just look up fAnaticZ Podcast. You'll see all that we have available. I'm actually going to be ordering some of that. So next week, I should have some of that for a tester, and we can see what it looks like on air. So, yeah, definitely just give us more of that support. Give us the follow so we can go live and just let us help you. Give us some good, comedy and sports in your life.
Yeah, please. If you like what you're seeing and listening to, please like, subscribe, join the group on Facebook, like the page on Facebook, like the Instagram page, buy some merch, tell your mom, your girlfriend, your sister, and all the beautiful women in your life about this podcast. I mean, everybody that likes sports around you about podcasts, and especially if you're an Arizona sports fanatic, because, I mean, that's what we are. So, guys, been awesome.
We will see you next week for episode 11.
11. Jeez.
Yep, and the standings will be updated 100% up to date.
I'm going to be in first.
We'll see.